Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Good Orderly Direction, Practical Tools of the Bible. Today we're discussing Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 through 6, Judging Others and Pearls to Swine. I'm your host, Dr. Donnelly Snipes. So Scripture starts, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. In the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." So what is this saying? It could be saying that, you know what, none of us is without fault. None of us has done everything perfectly. And there's a lot of things we do that other people may disagree with because they don't understand our motivations. They don't understand why we're doing it. So they judge us unfairly. When people judge, they often do so without the benefit of all the facts. And it's important to remember that acknowledgement is far different from judging. You can acknowledge that you don't like what someone does, but you probably have no idea what their motivations are. So if somebody in your family, for example, did something that you didn't like, you can acknowledge, hey, I don't like that. It makes me sad, it makes me angry, whatever. That's fine. But going the step further and saying that was a stupid thing to do, well, that's judging. And from your perspective, maybe it was a stupid thing to do, but from their perspective, it may have made sense in some way. So we really need to be a little bit more compassionate, quite honestly, which is why it goes on to say, with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. So the amount of prudence and compassion you use in acknowledging or coping with others' behaviors is often how much they will use toward you. So if you're willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, they will often be willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, and so on. Scripture goes on. Why do you look at the speck of dust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own? How can you say to your brother, let me take that speck out of your eye, when all along there's a plank in your eye? You hypocrite, take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. So here we see compared and contrasted the speck, the brother who may have made one mistake or have one problem, and the person who is trying to help with this big old plank in their eye. They've done something much, much bigger, but they're focusing on this little speck in their brother's eye. And Scripture is encouraging us to become more aware. We need to get our own house in order before we start trying to help people, and I use that term kind of loosely, put their houses in order. A lot of times, we don't want to deal with our own stuff. That plank is really overwhelming to try to deal with. So we want to focus on somebody else's. I can't deal with what I've got going on in my life, but I'm going to focus on my kids, or I'm going to focus on my brother or whomever, because it's a whole lot easier to tell them what to do than have to do something myself. And that's one of the key points that these verses bring. Additionally, when you are blinded by your own mistakes, it's hard to help someone else. When you've got all this stuff going on, when you've got a plank in your eye, it's really hard to see what the best options really are. So it's helpful to take care of yourself. Prevent yourself from getting burned out. Prevent yourself from getting distracted or overwhelmed, and then you can more clearly and more effectively help others. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. So there are actually two things going on here. Do not give dogs what is sacred. A lot of scholars speculate that what Jesus is saying here is do not speak of God to those that can't appreciate it. If they are not willing to take it for what it's worth and treasure it, then don't waste your time and energy trying to give it to them. I mean, it would be like reading to Shakespeare to a dog. He's going to be sitting there cocking his head back and forth because you're making funny sounds, but it means nothing to him. Use your energy and your time wisely. If someone or something is not willing or able to receive your message, then move on. If you throw pearls to pigs, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. Pigs are kind of vicious. I had no idea, but they really are. Dogs and pigs have no use for scripture. They have no use for pearls. That's not what's important in their life. Similarly, when you give people things they have no use for, they may become enraged. They want or need something else, and you're giving them this over here, and it's not useful to them. So it may make them angry. They may feel misunderstood or unheard or unsupported. You know, pigs want to be fed. They want grain, not pearls. Dogs want pets on the head. They don't want to be lectured from Shakespeare or something. So it's important to recognize and use your time and your energies wisely. When you've got something that's a pearl, a nugget of wisdom, a sacred treasure, that's wonderful. But make sure to share it with those who can appreciate it.